Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to MCubed. I am your host, Harris, and it's Film News Friday. So we are talking about the film news that kind of wraps up the week before we head into the new week with Monday movie news, or movie news Mondays, excuse me. And that'll be more like the weekend news. So this is more what's happened since Wednesday and up until this morning. So let's dive right into it. It's just me today. So we're just going to be like looking over articles and stuff like we typically do. And check it out, decipher the news in the film world today. So let us go ahead and bring up our first article. This one is from Puck. I'm trying to remember exactly who was the author. I believe it's Matthew Baloney, but I'm not positive. So hold up. Who wrote this one? Matthew Baloney. Okay, yeah, all right. And it was yesterday. Okay, so the troubling Pixar paradox. This is the kind of the title of our video here. Is Pixar losing its touch? I like this entire article. It's a long article, as you can see. So I kind of picked my favorite, or I guess the most meaningful, in my opinion, paragraph of it all. And I think it kind of sums everything up. So here we go. I see this over and over in other companies. Of subversion takes place in which streamlining the process or increasing the production supplants the ultimate goal, with each person or group thinking they're doing the right thing, when in fact they have strayed off course. When efficiency or consistency of workflow are not balanced by other equally strong countervailing forces, the result is that new ideas, our ugly babies, aren't afforded the attention and protection they need to shine and mature. They are abandoned or never conceived in the first place. Emphasis is placed on doing safer projects that mimic proven moneymakers just to keep anything moving through the pipeline. This kind of thinking yields predictable, unoriginal fare because it prevents the kind of organic ferment that fuels true inspiration. But it does feed the beast. So I think that sums up this article very well. This was not by Matthew Baloney, who actually says this bit. This is just a quote. Is Ed's. Ed's. We can go through that article. Y'all seen the article. But so, howdy, Carrie. All right, so yeah, we're talking Pixar. I mean, everybody loves Pixar. What are your thoughts on Pixar? I know we're of a different generation, and Canada definitely sees things differently than the U.S. We're not that far off in many ways, of course. But what's your thought process there? Is Pixar still Pixar, or is it not so much Pixar and it's kind of losing its magic and kind of meddling into just Disney animation territory, which typically is great, but then you get Strange New Worlds and things like that where it might have a good story and it might have some good heart to it, but it doesn't bring anything new to the table. It might have some cool ideas and cool concepts that are like shown in the animation itself, like Elemental does. It has some great concepts shown, and it's beautiful. I like the inventiveness of a lot of the things inside of the world. But that's world building in a sense of like, okay, well, now we know the rules and we can kind of make what we want around it. Some of these things did end up pertaining to the story, but it didn't necessarily feel like an afterthought, but some of it was an afterthought. If you're coming in late, and I don't know if you have or not, Carrie, but it's not the same as it used to be. It really doesn't feel that way. Have you seen Elemental yet? I put an out of theater reaction for Elemental, which is just like, I think 50 seconds long. So come back and check that out if you haven't seen that yet. But yeah, I guess my synopsis of my out of theater reaction was it doesn't bring anything new to the table, but it is beautiful in its simplicity nonetheless. I really enjoyed this film. I said I don't understand why people have like not rated it very high on Rotten Tomatoes and some things like that. So I've kind of thought about that more after I said it in the out of theater reaction, of course. And I understand it because it just doesn't bring anything new to the table. And as simply beautiful as it may be, it's simple in all the bad ways it's simple at the same time. Yeah, it's a good little children's movie. It's a good family movie. I enjoy it, but where Pixar is known to subvert tropes and subvert your expectation to make this beautiful film something that you wouldn't have expected. This does not do that. Elemental is not Pixar's strongest in recent years or in general at all. Obviously, Lightyear was kind of their quote unquote worst film, their quote unquote like film that didn't hit the mark in a multitude of ways, and this is kind of the runner up to that. It is a return to form, but almost too much of a return to form, where Lightyear just kind of was like, we're gonna do all these subversions and really kind of blow you out the water, and then kind of make you almost not enjoy the thing that you originally enjoyed in the same way. This is definitely opposite. It doesn't have those like pre thought out thoughts, for lack of a better terminology there. So it's not that Elemental is bad. It's just it's so simple, and where it can be beautiful in that simplicity, it definitely falters with that simplicity as well, because there's just not as much to think about. There's not as much to discuss. It's very surface level. It's not flat in that way, but it's almost flat, and I guess parts of it are flat. I actually thought the fire dad, was probably the most flat. I won't get into any spoilers. It's just he tends to be the more immigrant coming to the city kind of guy, and they paint him in almost more of a bad light than the water people. It was kind of like, I don't want to say it. It wasn't like, because racism is not one way or another, but it was like not backwards racism. I don't want to say it like that, because you can be racist to anybody, of course. But it was definitely more like the immigrants have to learn how to live here, but that wasn't the ultimate thing. It kind of muddies its own message by the end. And I'm trying to not be spoilery, of course, so that's part of me not being able to tell you exactly what's going on, but it muddies its own thought process by the end. I think that's probably a good way of saying it, or thinking about it. I really did enjoy it, but it loses itself. It does. With that mud, I don't think it necessarily knows what it wants to. It has one very specific scene at the end that is beautiful. I shed a tear. I was tearing up. I was like, this is cute. This is sweet. This makes me happy. This is respectful. This is honorful. I like it. But I saw it coming from a mile away, like literally the first time that concept is introduced in the film, you're like, oh, it's going to be really sweet whenever this happens later. And yeah, it does happen. But all of the little climax before that, like very sweet ending, I think it's a bad case of they had the beginning shot in their brain and they had the end shot in their brain. And then, like Taika Waititi's saying with the Star Wars film right now, it's all the middle parts that you couldn't figure out. It's not that Peter Sohn wasn't able to figure the middle parts out. It's just that the middle parts, once again, were surface level. There wasn't as much depth to them, where I think would be a very easy film to add depth to. And it's never, quote unquote, easy to add depth into anything. But if you're really thinking about the project from a writer or a director's point of view, it wouldn't be hard to add multiple types of depth to this film, if that makes sense, if that is coming across the right way. I really don't know much to say about it besides, I guess, the non-spoilery things I've already said. I'd have to get into spoilers to really get into details, and I won't do that here yet. We can kind of talk about that next week if y'all want some spoilers and talk about it. I'd like to give it, its opening weekend to actually gestate, So yeah, that's it for that. It was beautiful in its simplicity, but the simplicity is like blatantly the thing that held it back as well, for better and worse. So check it out. Let me know what you think of it. Check out the out of theater reaction. Do some comments. Let me know what you think of that in there as well. And, all that good stuff. But we're going to move on. I'm really excited. We're actually going to watch something real quick. I need to see if I should pull it up or if it's connected to this article. I believe it's connected to the article, but I might be wrong. Okay, yeah, it's at the very bottom of the article. So, Carrie Fisher, the great Carrie Fisher, the goddess Carrie Fisher, Miss Leia Organa / Skywalker herself. Oh, wait, sorry, 1 second. Before I hop in this, I'll read what you said, Carrie. I hate it when they ruin their own movies, or when you can see everything coming from a mile away. Yeah, and that one moment I'm talking about seeing things coming from a mile away, I wouldn't necessarily say it's one that takes you out or away from the movie, it's actually like the individually sweetest moment of the movie, and it is the reason why I had a little tear shed at the moment, you know. But the rest of the movie doesn't bring you there. Where like I would have liked to have like a moment or two that would have been like, you need to honor this, you need to honor that, and I guess they do that, but it's very surface level, and it's more of like a I need. It's a selfish want from one character where you're in such a well world built world that you want to feel the like there's a line of exposition that gives you the need for that final scene instead of, you know, just actually showing one or two characters across just the journey of every daily life, just maybe doing this once or twice and it really meaning something. There are ways to work it in. I'm going to definitely spoil things if I keep going there. So I'll keep going and move past Pixar. But I think Pixar hasn't lost its touch, but like the article was saying, is it's pushing content instead of projects out. And if you're working on content like this, I prepare for like an hour and a half beforehand. Typically, I literally was able to push this back a little bit because I was doing like a member stream and was keeping up with that and taking notes and all that good stuff. But like, you're not able to do that with projects. You're supposed to take all the notes way beforehand, think up something, and really put it all together in a beautiful, succinct kind of way that really tells people the mindset you were in coming up with this. Where content's content, like this is fun, this is great, this is always good. It's good to be interactive with people. It builds communities. It has its own purpose. Where projects have their own purpose, and Pixar has been a company known for their projects, and it's not just one of my favorite things, throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping whatever sticks, you know, throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. It's same metaphor and different grammar, of course, but this ain't Toy Story, simply put, and neither was Lightyear last year, and it's not Inside Out. It's not some of these special things that they took a long time to make. I don't know how long this one took. I feel like the animation process obviously would have been the longest part because the writing, you can tell, wasn't. And that's interesting. I think that's the thing that I find the most intriguing about it is that Pixar, with the lack of writing, I mean, they got Brad Bird of all people like doing stuff. He didn't have any involvement with this film. I guess it kind of shows. I like Peter Sohn a lot. I don't know his work all that well besides his work on other films. Like I haven't seen A Good Dinosaur, and this is the first directed film I've seen from him. But it was decent. It could elevate into like a Pixar level kind of thing, but you can clearly see what holds it back. Anyway, let's jump into Carrie Fisher stuff because I'm pumped. We get Miss Carrie Fisher one more time in our lives. I'm gonna take this out there and put this screen in here. Share screen. Carrie Fisher's final film, Wonderwall. I almost said Wonderwall. It's a film directed by Vlad Marsavan. I have yet to watch this trailer, so we are watching it together for the first time. I'm pumped. Let me oh, whoa. That's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Ooh, I do like this. Hold up. I'm going to make myself just a little bit bigger for you. And then we'll keep going. Yeah, is that a good spot? Yeah, we'll do that. Save that. Custom layout, whatever. Booyah! All right. I am going to go ahead and press play and expand this puppy all the way. I just want to check how it looks. That looks pretty good. Let me make sure I exit out of that. All right. Unmute this thing, and let's watch a little bit of Carrie Fisher and Wonderwell. I've got a banana to munch.
I'm running away.
To where?
Out there.
A witch lives there. A real one.
Daniele, you're holding all of us up.
Where's Violet?
She went for a walk.
You let her go on her own?
She'll be fine.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Are you the witch?
The witch or a witch?
Where am I?
On the other side.
Of what?
You want to see for yourself?
We need to talk.
Fancy meeting you here. You know the rules. The forest is yours. The town is mine. My girl isn't usual. She's not yours. Are you sure? It's only a matter of time. See what happens.
I want to go back.
You got to make it before sunrise. Because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck on this side forever. Life can be just as magical with this girl, only it's a lot more fun.
Well, what do y'all think? Well, come on. How do I get out of this thing? There we go. Yeah, what are y'all thinking? I'm not on the page to see what you're saying just right now. I know this includes, I guess it's newcomer, Kiera Millward, and Rita Ora. It looks like she's the bad witch. And obviously, Carrie Fisher is our good witch, the enigmatic Hazel. I like that. I like that name. So it was filmed in 2016, 6 weeks before her death. No way. It's undergone a number of delays, including complications with the Rona and issues with completing its special effects, resulting in its release date slipping 7 years. 7 years. It will receive a limited release in AMC theaters next Friday, June 23rd. Oh, okay. Well, I know what I'm doing next Friday. My next Friday plans have been made. That's amazing. What did y'all think of that? That looks interesting to me. It looks Snow White is the first thing that comes to my brain. Snow White in a way. It looks a little Alice in Wonderland in a lot of ways. Where Snow White was the thing that kind of came to my brain first. I don't know why exactly, but I think the whenever like the flip of the world and she jumped through kind of the little portal or whatever it was, that made me think of Alice in Wonderland immediately, of course. It looked very Alice in Wonderland. I like me Alice in Wonderland. Lewis Carroll was an amazing author, and those books are way deeper than any iteration has ever shown in live action or animated film, where it tends to get into great concepts, and Alice in Wonderland depictions are, I think, every single one I've ever seen is pretty damn good. None really hit the mark on what like Alice in Wonderland really is, and it's a deep psychedelic, trippy, dark, scary, spooky, intriguing, and ominous thing. I was happy with that entire sentence. I thought I was going to end up rambling somewhere, but it sounded cool. I hope. But yeah, no, I can talk about Alice in Wonderland all day, but Wonderwell, I don't know. Hey, what's happening, David? Not the most details about the film. I kind of don't, because if it comes out this next weekend and that's all I've seen about it so far, like the trailer was released this morning or yesterday, I don't do it often because I like the anticipatory feeling of jumping into a theater and kind of like, okay, so I know this is going to happen from the trailer. I know this is going to happen from the book. I know this is going to happen from whatever, yada, yada, yada. How is it going to happen? Where is it going to happen? And my brain tries to piece through those things the entire time, which I love. That's what my brain likes to do. You know, it likes to have that high octave, just kind of let's figure something out. With this though, now that it's just 1 week away, you know what? I'm going to exit out of the article right now because I'm liable to look at that thing for another 20 minutes and decipher and deep dive and delve into it, and we could do that, but it's one of those things that kind of seems like a good thing just to hop in on and enjoy just for what it is. It looks like a really good family movie, and okay, that's the other thing that the Good Witch Bad Witch makes me feel like a little Wizard of Oz, of course. So if it's Did you get Snow White, Alice in Wonderland, and Wizard of Oz kind of put together in that for you? Because that's where my brain went. I'm intrigued. I think I like that. I think I like the way that looks a lot. Let's keep running though, because we got a couple topics, and the funny thing is, it's because I will be like, well, this article's Collider, this article's Deadline, this article's Variety, this article's Hollywood Reporter. Reminded me of a tamed down Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah. That's actually a good way of saying it too. I love me some Guillermo del Toro. And that, yeah, I think that's actually a really good comparison. That might be a better comparison than Snow White too, because Snow White's just the woods. Surprise. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth. It's not going to be Labyrinth actually, like at all. It's more so in that vein of Pan's Labyrinth, it seems, which kind of fits in that Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland vein of quote unquote young adult fantasy, because it's not really young adult. It's more like teenagers. Because those are too dark for youngins, and that's what the Disney versions are for. But this one looks like it could be a wide array of folk as well, which is cool, which is really cool. And hopefully, of course, it's Carrie Fisher's final film, and it probably wasn't going to be. Not sure. I would think that Rise of Skywalker would have been her last film, but this, of course, is the last thing that she filmed 6 weeks prior to her death. I don't think that she would have filmed anything else, and that article, hopefully at least, would have told us. But that's good. I hope it's successful. I'm gonna go check it out this coming weekend. It said the 23rd, which means it probably comes out the 22nd, the night of the 22nd. Oh damn. Oh no, I fly back to Texas on the 21st. I don't think we have an AMC. I might not be able to see that. Oh, I got myself so excited. Now I might have to. I already exited out of the article. I can't do my deep dive. I'm going to watch it as soon as I can, when I can, and support Carrie Fisher's family's estate. Old Billy Lord, I don't know what she's doing besides American Horror Story right now. Her daughter, I don't know. Support the family nonetheless, because Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, both of them, forever and always. But we continue. Let's talk a little Indiana Jones, because Indiana Jones doesn't come out this next weekend. It's already airing in some places, and if I can find an advanced screening for it here, yes, I will be there. But it technically comes out the 30th, I believe. It is this month. Yes, it is the 30th. I was correct. Oh, yeah. Feel good about that. But yeah. Let's dive in. So this is how Spielberg, I guess, has described Indiana Jones to James Mangold, which I just kind of find interesting in general. But there we are. Share it to you. We are there. So yeah, he literally described it as this. Once again, I won't give you the full article. This one was written by Christopher McPherson, though. It's got a lot of good things written throughout it, but I feel like this is the meat right here. So it's a 2-hour-long movie trailer. Mangold's full response on Spielberg's advice can be found below. One of the great notes I think Steven offered early on to me as a very simple tidbit was just this idea that an Indiana Jones movie, in his mind, he realized somewhere along the line of making them, is actually a movie trailer that's 2 hours long, that nothing can sit very long, that any kind of concepts of pace that you might have about a different movie have to be kind of exponentially turned up to 11 on an Indiana Jones movie. I like that. I like that. Spielberg is obviously a genius. He's one of the most well-received, well-known, well-renowned directors and writers and producers, more so the directing and producing, of course, than any other filmmaker in the world. He's up there. He's in like the top 2, 3, 4, 5 best filmmakers ever in anybody's conversations, and rightfully so. And to think about movies and a movie trailer since starting in like the 80s is just wild to me. That because movie trailers obviously had their place back then, and you were watching it on TV, you'd see things, and it would excite you. It would tell you things are coming out. It would be like, all right, this is what I have my sights set on now. But for him to have just the wherewithal and the pre-thought or the brain to think almost like in the future in that kind of sense, because movie trailers weren't what they are today. And even what they are today has kind of been changed and exacerbated and switched around just depending on the film itself, if it's a TV show, if it's a TV spot, if it's a movie spot, if it's something that's going to be before a trailer on a YouTube thing, it's clipped out. There's a million different little weird little tidbits and things that you can do to change things now. And he understood TikTok culture before TikTok. That's exactly what he's saying Indiana Jones is. I don't like TikTok and all that necessarily, but I still used to the fast pace of things nonetheless. I don't try to swipe everything and just be like and take all of my focus into one screen that diverts your focus every 5 seconds. But the fast-pacedness of an Indiana Jones film, according to the thought process of making a trailer, I think that makes sense. Spielberg obviously made it make sense, and he might not have done the best job with it in the fourth movie. And that's kind of what we were just saying, how trailers changed. Trailers had changed drastically and dramatically by the time we got to Indy 4. And Indy 4 was a drastically and dramatically different film than the first three. Not in a lot of bad ways. Movie trailers are nothing like they used to be, unfortunately. Yeah. Do you think that might have been one of the things that hurt the third film? And the fourth film, the one with Shia LaBeouf? And going into Indiana Jones now, is that going to hurt this one more? Or do you think it might level it out because trailers are good nowadays, I would say generally, but at the same time, they tend to give away way too much. They do a lot of certain little things, and hopefully that nothing was given away too much in the Indiana Jones trailer for the fifth one, Dial of Destiny, that comes out soon, because if it's made in the sense of every frame of the entire movie could be in a movie trailer, then you could pick out literally anything and toss it in there, and you don't need to give away your big pivotal moments. Hopefully that's the way they did it. Hopefully that's kind of that anticipatory thing that we can jump into that theater with. But I don't know. I'm worried about it. And I'm optimistic at the same time because I do really appreciate and enjoy James Mangold as a filmmaker. He's an excellent filmmaker. I really like 2013's The Wolverine. It's obviously not 2016's Logan, because Logan may be the best comic book movie ever still. It's in that conversation where Across the Spider-Verse, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, and I think a couple others are really up there. And I couldn't really tell you my favorite. I'd have to really think about that one. But I'm also a little worried just from the thought process of okay, well, we don't want to do Indiana Jones anymore, but we want to find a way to keep this franchise going, this intellectual property. I almost said individual property. This intellectual property moving forward, which I like to say, I'm from oil country. I like making money. I like having plans laid out to make more things. But like Matt and I were saying yesterday, is if you don't put all of your focus into the project at hand, it becomes content. And you're like, okay, well, this needs to happen for this to happen and this to happen and this to happen. Yes, that might be the case, but for this to happen right here, right now, this needs to be a fully realized, fully complete story. It needs to have heart. It needs to have soul. It needs to have consciousness. And if it doesn't, why would we ever go to the second one? Why would we get to the next stepping stone before we get to the next stepping stone before the next stepping stone before the next stepping stone? At a certain point, it's not stepping stones. You're a frog hopping on a bunch of lily pads, you know? I'm a Texan. I make metaphors all the time. I don't like what I'm hearing about the new Indiana Jones movie, to be honest. Hoping they're wrong. I'm keeping my fingers crossed as well because I don't really like what I've heard about it either. It's not that like, see, I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I don't think there's anything about her particularly. I just don't like that. Like I just said, if it's not going to be Indiana Jones moving forward, Don't shoehorn somebody else in there. And if you are, find a way to put Shia LaBeouf with it. I understand the fourth one wasn't as great as the first three, and possibly even the fifth one. But when you've world built and had a fully realized thing, like you've had 1, 2, 3, whether 4 worked as well or not, it's part of that consciousness. And Shia LaBeouf's son of Indiana Jones is in that movie. There's a lot going on, and it should be addressed. I hope they address it. We'll see, of course, but cautiously optimistic going into that one. If I were doing a ticket or skip it beforehand, I would say I'm going in with some trepidation. But let's keep moving it on. While I'm gonna skip ahead real quick. I think we're gonna go do these two next though, because then we can finish it off there. Yeah, all right. I'm planning things up in my head right now. Next up though, we're gonna go talk a little bit about Genndy Tartakovsky. Oh, which hold up. I don't think I have anything about it. Oh no. All right. Okay, hold up. Let me see if I can get to Collider real quick and pull this up, because that's where I found everything from this morning. Genndy. Did they delete the article? No, there we are. Open link in new tab. This one is not going to be a long article. It's just to talk about the great Genndy Tartakovsky. So, they have renewed Genndy Tartakovsky's, I've said that too many times, it's running together, Primal for Season 3 on Adult Swim. I just wanted to give you a general sense of this. Primal. Have y'all seen Primal? Oh, wait, okay, so real quick. David said it's one of those films that is savaged by critics before release, so it's doomed to fail before it's began. And then Carrie said they should be thinking in the here and now and not too many steps ahead. Totally. And same thing with the whole critics thing. Like, you gotta be in the here and now. Don't start poo-pooing things way beforehand if you haven't seen it, We'll see. I do think some of these critics doing that already has kind of put a hamper on the ability of what Indiana Jones will be able to do, because there's going to be a lot of people that think, well, let me wait for the Rotten Tomatoes scores now because of what they've heard. And at this point, go decide something for yourself. That's kind of where I'm at, and that's where I wish more people and just the general public of moviegoers were at. It's like, yes, the reviews are here for a reason, but the reviews aren't what you think they are. Like 75% on Rotten Tomatoes means 75 out of 100 critics liked it. 25 critics did not like it. That's still 1/4 of people not liking something. If it's 55%, that's 55 out of 100 critics, and it could be 300, it could be 250, it could be 144 critics, whatever it is. It could be 85 critics, any of those numbers, and it's a percentage point thing, of course. But that's where it comes from. 55% is 55% of the people that watched it loved it or liked it. The other 45% didn't. So I think we have a very misconstrued vision of the way Rotten Tomatoes works. And yeah, Rotten Tomatoes gets it wrong all the time because of that kind of stuff. Because sometimes they don't send, and you got to look at the reviewers as well. It's a lot of reviewers put their own politics or morals into kind of their reviews, and rightfully so. That's the way you view the world and the way you think of things. Great. But we as people that want to go watch this movie and are deciding to whether go watch a movie or not based on a Rotten Tomatoes score or whatever kind of score, they couldn't agree more. People need to make up their own minds and stop being sheep. Essentially, it's we find the easiness of just looking at the Rotten Tomatoes score, or looking at the Metacritic score, IMDb score, whatever, and it's like, all right, well, I don't need to see it. I need to see it. That's sure, it's making up your mind, but it's not doing it in an educated, even kind of an educated guess kind of way. It's not doing it in a way that is going to push you forward or push what you want to be pushed forward in the medium that you may or may not decide to go visit. And that's the thing. If you want things to change in the film or TV industry, like, you still have to go watch the thing so you can get feedback. It can't just be like, this person made this so bad. Which also brings us into like the Flash right now. It's like Ezra's awful, a god awful human being. And it is very hard to separate the art from the artist there. And it really, Ezra's done enough stuff where it's like, you probably shouldn't separate the art from the artist. But for one ticket for this one film that's going to be out there nonetheless, it's not like an end all of end alls. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Because was it, I think Matt was talking about yesterday, was he's already been paid. You know, it's not like they didn't sign up to give him 1%, 2%, 3% of anything. So Ezra's been paid, you know. I'm rambling and tangenting at this point, but essentially go view things to find your own viewpoint, not to go either embellish or accentuate someone else's. We as individuals have lost a lot of individualism, I guess, especially over the last few years, just being locked inside and doing all these different things. And some people have garnered and gained more individualism in that time than ever before. And, you know, that's good, because there's a lot of people that have been very successful over the last couple of years by changing the status quo. And that's what I'm saying. Let's just change the status quo back to, not even back to something, but into thinking for ourselves. We don't need that whole. We did discuss this the other day too, and I'm rambling and thinking about and circling back to things that I don't necessarily need to be thinking and circling back to. But when Matt and I were talking about and now I'm brain farting in the middle of that. Matt, oh my God, too many things for the brain right there. I was trying to correlate too much. But yeah, exactly. Ezra got his money, so good on him. And at this point, it's up to us to judge the product, not the person making the product, but the product itself. Because now that person that made the product has nothing to really do with the product besides marketing. It's our product, not theirs. It's ours, you know, and that's for us to go delve into and dive into and learn about. But tangent aside, we'll go ahead and end that there. I think I got the point across. I was just trying to strengthen the point even more, but I run the risk of rambling and ADDing myself into confusion again. So I will keep moving. And I'm really pumped for Primal. I still need to watch season 2 of Primal. I've watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I need to just rewatch those and power through the whole thing. I started watching it, I think, right kind of near when I was ending Stargate Atlantis and getting into Stargate Universe. And y'all know, once Stargate's on the brain. So I forgot about Primal for a little bit. But Genndy did come out with another new show called Unicorn Warriors Eternal, which I don't have anything about up. I just wanted to just discuss it. Are y'all Genndy fans? Do y'all know of Genndy Tartakovsky by chance? He is a wonderful, wonderful creator. And he did, Samurai Jack back in the day. He did the new Samurai Jack when it was brought back. He did the Clone Wars 2D. He did Dexter's Laboratory and a couple others. He's just a phenomenal creator that isn't given enough credit for everything. Never heard of Primal. Haven't heard of him. Oh, y'all would love the guy. You might not like all of his projects. Like this one's a little different than a lot of the things he's done before, but I really like it. It's this one's a lot more. It's magical and fantasy, yes, but it's also very steampunk, and I love me some steampunk stuff. But okay, so Genndy Tartakovsky, there's a lot of different, not a whole bunch, but there's a couple different Russian creators and stuff like that have that last name, or not that last name particularly, but have similar last names, and it can kind of be confusing. And there's Genndy, there's Gendry, there's all kinds of different things. But Genndy Tartakovsky, this guy himself is fantastic. And he did, I mean, like I said, Dexter's Laboratory, great kids show. He did Samurai Jack, which is a great kids show and adult show if you're trying to watch something like alongside your kids. And then the 2D Clone Wars from 2002 to 2005 or 2003 to 2005 was excellent. It's not as good, I don't think, as the 3D animated Clone Wars for like the 7 seasons that George and Dave Filoni both did together. This was more like George said, Gindi, I need this going on, and these are your stipulations. This is what could happen. This is what I need to happen. Can you make this happen? And boy, did he make it happen, because some of it is really, really great still. So if you're a Star Wars fan, I think Disney Plus has both of those laid out. Like there's 2 seasons for it, and they have 1 season completely laid out as like an hour and a half film, and the next one laid out as like an hour and a half film as well. And you can kind of watch it all in conjunction with one another, and it's really good. So yeah, so there's that. Then he's always been kind of Cartoon Network and Adult Swim based, because he does do Adult Swim kind of more adult themed cartoons as well, and that's what Primal is. Primal is absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Because I did not say that sentence very clearly. It's something that I think everybody should watch. Really, though, it's not necessarily going to be the same like level of love derived from everybody from watching it, but it's beautiful, it's meaningful, and it really doesn't include much dialogue, and it doesn't have many words. It doesn't have much spoken anything. It's based off of just generally it's a caveman and a Neanderthal and a T-Rex that kind of both end up having very bad things happen to them and have to kind of come together and become friends. And on that journey of just living through this dangerous prehistoric world, the Neanderthal talks through grunts and the T-Rex talks through moans and roars and stuff like that. So you're not actually getting dialogue, but it is beautiful in that sense of like anybody could watch it. Any culture could watch it. An alien could come in and watch this stuff and still feel something from it. It is a great show. And Unicorn Warriors Eternal is the exact opposite, and it's not in like a bad way or anything. It's also an excellent show. It's only got 1 season so far, and it was 7 episodes. It's all out right now, I believe. I'm not sure on what. I think I watched it on HBO Max or just Max now, I guess. And it was really good. It was really, really good. Excuse me. It's based on a couple of warriors, Eternal, and they're part of the Unicorn Order, and that's kind of something that like the ancient wizard Merlin put together. So it gets into that like high fantasy magic stuff, but it ropes things together through science in a way. It's really interesting. I like it. It sounds cheesy, it sounds fun and dumb, and it is fun, but it's not dumb. And that's what I like about it is this guy. I mean, he wrote a show about a dinosaur and a Neanderthal, and they bring beautiful, like pristine moments. So like me talking to my son, exactly, David. It's legit. It's like it's a man show in that sense. Or like dudes can understand it because we just grunt at each other, and that's how we talk half the time. But anybody can watch it. It's a beautiful show, and like a mother could watch it and really, really get something from it, because it is that like found friendship, almost replacing like bad things happen to both their families, and that's how they come together. And that is what really helps that strengthen that bond between those two characters. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is. But Unicorn Warriors Eternal, let me just pull up like where there it is. These guys, yeah, they have so many different looks. You don't ever see these guys do anything. I like all the little. I mean, you do see these guys do something, but you didn't see that iteration of these guys. So these guys come back in every generation, in as warriors, or maybe not every generation, but every couple generations or something of the sort. And that's where the Warriors Eternal part comes in. That giant bot right here, this steampunk robot, kind of holds all of their souls or consciousnesses within them. And every time a new generation comes on or comes about that needs some saving, he like shoots a little beam at somebody and turns them back into that, or puts that soul back into another body and allows those warriors to fight and help save the day of that time. And that's really fun. I like the concept a lot. It does a really good job of we're not talking smoke, thankfully, Laura, but howdy, glad you're here. But that's the problem with streaming services. There's way too many of them, and I can't afford to keep up for one or two shows, for example. Yeah. We've talked a little bit about that over on Sidetrack, I guess, with, Amazon maybe hopefully being like a hub for streaming services, maybe YouTube and YouTube TV being like a hub for streaming services in the future. And maybe you can like bundle certain ones together for maybe you're paying $35-40 a month and you get 6 different things or 7 different streaming services. And they're your big ones like Apple TV, Max, and Disney Plus, and Hulu, and da-da-da-da. And they all split things back and forth. Maybe we'll see. Fingers crossed that happens, or something of the sort happens. So Unicorn Warriors Eternal, great show. Check it out. But Primal is the one that you should check out first, and maybe that will inspire you to check out more Genndy Tartakovsky, because I know animation's not everybody's biggest boat, but Genndy Tartakovsky is one of the individuals that would make you appreciate animation more if it's not one of your favorite things, if it's not one of your typical mediums. This thing is falling out of my hair. Where is it? There it is. Headbands. Yeah. I just told Laura we weren't smoke talking, but now that she said something about smoke talking, my brain went to smoke stuff. I said headbands. Headband is one of my favorite weed strains right here. Hi, Laura. I'm not forgetting you either. I should text because I know you can't hear. Oh, I put caps lock on. Oops, there we go. All right. Next up, though, we've vaguely talked about the Flash, and I don't even need to bring this article up. I'm going to go ahead and just exit out of this article over here. But the gist of the article is that the Flash, in its opening preview day, Thursday, previewing the weekend, of course, it made $9.7 million, which it's supposed to, according to, I guess, industry insiders. I don't remember who puts the numbers out, but it's supposedly going to make $73 million this weekend is what people are projecting it to make. And that's not a bad weekend at all. That's about half of what Marvel's been doing lately, even with Quantumania. Quantumania made, I think, $2 or $3 million. Was it more than Guardians made? But of course, Guardians stayed and it's still in theaters and it's still making money, where Quantumania was not really making money 3 weeks after the fact, I really think this will do. I wanted to say better than I expected it to, but I don't even know where I expect it to go. I think if 73 million, if it hits that for this weekend, it might make like somewhere between a $300 and $500 million run at the end of the day. And I think that's probably good and probably what they expect over there at Warner Brothers. But at the same time, when you spend the type of money that you spent on something like this, ooh, yeah, you want to make like $1 billion back. You want that $120 million, $118 million, $115, $145 million opening weekend if possible. That ain't happening. And with Across the Spider-Verse in theaters right now, I don't think this one's going to go up to the heights that it could. For better and worse, worse for Warner Brothers, better for all of us, because that means no more, Voldemort or Credence, I think is the dude's name in Fantastic Beast. Maybe I forget. I think it's Credence. No Moss over on the Warner Brothers side, which is good. It's necessary. It should have been done a while ago, and of course they couldn't and haven't. But now that Flash is out, toss that out and build yourself up as a brand, as a company. Come on, Warner Brothers. Because I would like to see, and a preview weekend, a preview day, like a Thursday going into the weekend, making them 20 million, 25, 30 million dollars. That's what you really want them to be doing, and to give us the content the projects that we want, because that's what the issue's been, is if they don't get good cash revenues from some of these things, we just get content, we don't get projects, and it's wild. Wait, what did David say? I've got Sky TV, Netflix, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, Apple TV, Prime Video. Cost me over $100 a month. I know, David, it gets really expensive is what Carrie said. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I think I got all of them, and it's I don't know if it's $100 a month, but it's right up next to it. It's in that 80, 100, 110 range. And at this point, that's cable. Like I great, just bundle them all together and give me cable. Like, don't give me cable in that sense, I guess, but give it to me in that cable bundle. Is just, it would make more sense, right? Sooner than later, we hope, we think, we cross our fingers. This thing is messing up my hair. Anyway, I've got one more thing to talk to y'all about before we just kind of hang out for a minute. Do y'all want to do a smoke stream at the end? I'm never opposed, of course. And I could even do a little. I have an idea. If we're down for one later, y'all let me know. But we are going to cover our last little topic today, and Sony has set 2 new release dates for Marvel films. Share screen. Where are we? There we are. So, is Spidey back? Sony sets release date for 2 new Marvel movies. This article is also by Christopher McPherson. So, that's the, okay. Where does it actually give us the date? So what do we know for sure? June 27th, 2025 is Prime in the middle of summer, and May 2nd of 2025 is the other one. Yeah. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't getting those dates wrong. That sounded right. Heads up, guys, I'm scheduled to be in surgery Monday. They have booked the OR from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for me, so I probably won't be around until at least I'm out of ICU. I'm not avoiding you guys. Laura, you take the time you need to heal. We will be here when you're back. We'll be waiting, loving, praying, doing anything and everything we can for you on this end while you're in recovery, because we love you. We appreciate you. You are the best. And good luck. Yeah, fingers crossed. Really hope everything does go well. Good luck, Laura. Hope everything goes really well, hon. Carrie, thank y'all for just being a good... Oh, and good luck, Laura. Hope everything goes well right above it. David, you're faster typer than I can even speak and think. I like it. I love building this little community just around us, Sidetrack, all of the people that just kind of follow these same little circles around. Although I'm sure I'll be around this weekend, trying not to stress too much. Yeah, just don't stress. I don't know if it's the good thing to do, but I know you're at the doctor's, but beforehand, and that stress goes down a lot. But obviously, if that would not do well with the surgery, don't do that. But we'll be waiting for you, Laura. We want to hear how you do, or how you are doing after the fact as well. So we'll be here. We love you. We're keeping our fingers crossed for you, and sending love, sending thoughts your way. Last up though is just this Flash stuff. Not Flash stuff. Excuse me, Sony stuff. I am intrigued by this because if we're getting 2 new Sony dates, what are those dates? Obviously, this article does go into like it very well might be like the new Miles Morales movie, that live action one that Amy Pascal talked about. But also in this article, it talks about how Amy Pascal says we have to push that back a little bit so Spider-Man 4 and Tom Holland can kind of figure out his character and everything like that first. So it doesn't sound like Miles Morales movie is going to be one of those 2. So live action Spider-Man, number 4, most likely, with Tom Holland. And it says Venom 3 hasn't been slated, I don't think, necessarily. So one of those slots could be Venom 3. I wouldn't think they're going to put those two together unless they decide to put Venom into Spider-Man 4, which might make some sense with, I guess, the more street-level hero aspect of things. But I feel like Spider-Man 4 is going to be more connecting him with street-level Marvel things like Daredevil again, and especially after Daredevil Born Again has come out and Matt Murdock has been in Spider-Man already. I think that'll kind of really help bridge that gap. And Matt Murdock's showing up in She-Hulk too, so that we're getting those street level things. We might even see other little characters. It'd be cool to see more Defenders. And if the Punisher shows up, that would be really nice. That would be really cool. Don't necessarily expect it though. Is what I'm thinking. 2025. I think it's too early for a sequel to. Definitely too early for a sequel to El Muerto. I don't think that's going to happen anyway. I think El Muerto will still happen, but I don't think a sequel will. That's just my negative Nancy look at it going into it. But I will go see it nonetheless, David. I'm not going back on my comments from earlier. I will go see it just to check it out, just to garner my own thoughts. That being said, though, I think it would be too fast for a Madam Web movie. I went to Spider-Verse. My brain went all over Spider-Verse there. I think it'd be too early for a Madam Web sequel, too early for a Kraven the Hunter sequel. I don't think they'll put Venom 3 there because they'll want to space that out because Venom 3 is their big money maker out of all these different franchises besides Spider-Man itself. So my thought process is it's either Morbius 2, which is not the most likely, but they have to do something now, right? So maybe... Or it's not a live action film and it's going to be whatchamacallit. It could be Beyond the Spider-Verse because I don't think Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to happen in 2024. I as much as I'd love it to, I'd rather them take time to make it as damn good as these first two films were. So push that back. If it's 2025, it's 2025. If it's 26, 27, it's 26 or 27. Focus on that, Sony. Please. Please, please, please. If it's not those, though, could it be a new character? Could it just be another character that they want to do? They did say they want to put it together with these are Sony Marvel releases. So it could just be anything within like Spidey world and stuff like that. But if it specifies Sony Marvel, could that be the what character is Donald Glover doing? He's doing it's like a disco dude or something. It's like a disco villain or something like that. But he also was just Prowler in Across the Spider-Verse, the live action version, which was freaking great. Is there a way we could get live action Prowler in his own film? I don't think so because they'd be focused on the other one. But maybe they're throwing that other film out there just to throw us off, and maybe they're actually doing like a Prowler film. I don't think so. I'm just spitballing here. Possibly, maybe. Who knows? I don't. But that's why we're here to discuss, you know. But that's kind of it for me and from me on this end. What are y'all thinking? LOL, negative Nancy. Holding my phone to my ear. My mom's name is Nancy, so every time I say that, she's like, I'm not negative. I'm like, that sounded negative, and then she gets all pissed off. It's funny. But before we just hang out, I got to do it just for the sake of building the channel. The goal is for 500 subscribers here soon. The goal is like for 50 likes on something like this. And, you know, just hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We do have our Woodrow affiliate link in the bottom of the description there, and then Patreon down there too, and we're working on it little bit by little bit. So we're having fun. If you want to support us, those are the ways to do it. And yeah, now we're just hanging out in chat. See, I got my spiel out in less than half a minute. We're good. We Gucci. What do y'all think about? I'll probably hang out here for the next 10, 15, maybe. Unless we don't have anything to talk about, then I might hang out for 2 or 5. but we always end up rambling and discussing things. So probably be here for the next 10, 12, 15 minutes, something like that. What's on y'all's mind? Are y'all going to go check out any of these films this weekend? And go see The Flash? Going to go see Elemental? Going to go see The Blackening? I got to go see The Blackening today. And then, wow, I got you right here. I need to go see Asteroid City because it is Oh shit. I gotta go see Asteroid City at a time that makes sense. What time is I've got to play today? Not that I'm performing in, of course. Did you see the Babylon 5 trailer? I saw that it came out. I never watched Babylon 5 though, so I didn't check it out yet. I know, is it an animated thing? It's an animated thing, right? Um, but I think Jamie's excited about it, right? No, not positive, but I I like the animated sci-fi aspect of things going on. I think, of course, Futurama did so much for that, but then Star Wars really kind of helped boost that with their animated stuff. Gendy Tartakovsky was that first guy, which is great. But then Dave Filoni has really boosted all that with Clone Wars and Rebels, et cetera, et cetera. I like how Star Trek did it. I think that's been really popular, right? That's not necessarily popular, but that's the one that people like a lot besides Strange New Worlds, because I know people don't like Discovery, or they didn't like the first couple seasons of Picard all that much. I don't know what else is out. That's about my knowledge of Star Trek right there. I got plenty of Trek knowledge, just not the Star Trek. That's the other stars, the Stargate and Star Wars. I got you. Star Trek. I'm more. I trek in my own personal sense. You know, I like to hike. That's where I trek. But yeah. The Babylon 5 animated is your favorite sci-fi show? Oh well, tell me to watch it without telling me I need to watch it. That's okay. I'll get around to it. It's there's only one show, right? It hasn't been like redone or anything like that. It's just like one show, and that's it, right? I'm thinking Battlestar Galactica has the different iterations. Babylon 5 is just the one show, and now the animated, right? I believe. But okay, so if my play's at 6:00 tonight, let's see, real quick. Let me see what kind of tickets. Burbank Town Center. I gotta go all the way to Burbank. I thought I was only gonna have to go to Universal Studios. I do really like that Burbank Town Center. Uh, 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 Because if I go see that at 2:30, it's like a 2.5 hour movie, about 30 minutes in previews. That's 3, 5. It's going to take me 45 minutes to get there. 30, 45, 30, 45 back. That's too close. That's too close. I don't think that's too close to my to play. I think my play is 6:30 that I have to be there. That thankfully I don't have to perform in, but I'm producing, so I got to be there. Got to help. Got to support. Got to run that box office. Got to do all the good stuff. I think I actually technically host the play tonight, so that'll be fun. I get to go. Everybody, this is the exit that you have to go if fires happen. All that good stuff. Then I get to introduce the place, so that'll be fun. But 5 seasons, 1 show, and a few films, but some parts are very dated now. That's right. It's got films. That's where my brain was going. I feel like I knew it had films, and that's what was confusing me. But okay, 5 seasons, 1 show, and a few films, and now an animated show. That's kind of perfect. I like that. I don't have Stargate to watch. Okay, I told Matt that I would watch Stargate Origins Catherine, but it's not anywhere. I don't know where to find it for free, so I'm gonna watch Babylon 5 in the meantime. Currently, though, I am catching up on I'm caught up on Mayans. I watched half of the episode from last night, and then I just knocked out. So I need to finish that half from yesterday. But I need to get into Sweet Tooth season 2. I really want to watch Beef, that both Netflix shows, and then I guess I need to watch Extraction, the movie, and then I need to watch the new Flamin' Hot, that Flamin' Hot Cheetos movie, and online for Origins. That's what I haven't even Googled it. You know, I just saw on Amazon that it wasn't on there, and I was like, well, it'll be on there when it's on there, kind of deal. But I could just Google real quick and say, where can I watch Stargate Origins. You can buy Stargate Origins Catherine on Microsoft, Amazon, Google Play, YouTube, Apple TV, or Vudu. Ah. Oh, yeah. No, it's not available for free anywhere. Interesting. Online for Origins. There's probably somewhere online I could find it, you know. But we will see. So, while we're hanging out real quick, should we do a quick little smoke stream? The quick idea that I thought of was I Snapchat and smoke on Snapchat, and that's kind of like one of the ways I advertise on this puppy. So, you want to go through Snapchat with me? Yeah, it used to be because I watched like the first episode of it. I think at a certain point, I think it was the first Stargate thing I watched, and then I was like, "This isn't very good. I'm gonna watch the movie, like the original movie," and that's what made me start watching Stargate. I think I forgot about Origins Catherine right after that because I think it was actually the first thing I saw. One of the first things I ever saw from Stargate was literally the end credits to Stargate Origins. Not Stargate Origins, Stargate Universe. Good Lord. And now that I finally finished it, everything came full circle, you know. And it was even more emotional at the end of that because I was like, this is sad. I remember this, but it wasn't sad last time I watched it. Now it's really sad. But yeah. It is my channel. We will hang out. Y'all get to watch me advertise for this right now. So watch 1 second. 1 second, and we'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab I'm gonna use my little strawberry bong, and then yeah, I'll be right back. All right. Strawberry bong. I love this thing. Filled it with water yesterday. I should refill it with water right now, but that takes too much time. Mostly because I need to go change my water out. I use big old water filters and stuff, so I know where my water's being sourced and all that good stuff, you know. But it also makes it more difficult to change water quickly and all that. So I do have enough for one little snap right here off of what I just have on this plate. That is kind of perfect. All right, I am loading the bowl as we speak. Sorry, it's way down here. I've got a standing desk that goes down as well. So that's always what I guess I'm going back and forth between, if y'all ever notice the differences. All right. Scratch that itch. Now we scratch this itch. Okay. But now I got to have a good setup here because we are advertising. So this is when you get to see me. I told y'all before on Snapchat, whenever I enter through YouTube, you're not allowed to usually cuss within that first minute. There's a spinoff called Crusades that ran for one season with Gary Cole. Ooh. So 6 seasons. That's still not bad at all. And that gets you like right into the thing that's about to happen. Is the animated one going to be like, is it more comedy based and more like separated, or does it definitely like finish, continue, and just add a little more youthful flair per se? I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. Okay, so here we are. This is gonna make this look bad, I think. It's gonna make my camera look bad for y'all. But coming from this way, I need that light for this thing, you know? So, I'm gonna wipe that camera down. If you ever take pictures off your phone, y'all ever wipe your cameras down? I think most people forget about it, but it looks so much better. Also, I totally forgot to use... Where are they? It makes no sense to use them at the end. There they are. No, there they are. But this is one of my tricks because people on stream look all greasy and stuff all the time, and I'm probably not the best right now. Not bad, but your face gets all like greasy and stuff, and we're human. We have oil all on our skins. So film sets have these things all the time. It's just little oil things, oil absorbing sheets. I think women use them all the time. I'm not positive. I would know to do with time travel. Ooh, intrigue me even more. But yeah, this stuff is just great to get some of that gunk off your face. They use them on film sets all the time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna add some professional quality over here. See, I'm like so much less shiny. I should have done that way before. Oops! In the last 5 minutes of the stream, get to looking how I'm supposed to be when I start the thing. But not too shabby, huh? Not too shabby. Little tips and tricks, as they say. This one's not a smoking one, but it's a streaming one. It's a recording one. I don't know. One of the two. A little bit of both. Y'all know the deal. All right. So debating how I should do this. I like having y'all at this angle. I kind of want to see if the phone works at this angle as well. And it does. I just think it's going to end up pressing buttons on my laptop that I don't want it to press. So we're coming at it from this angle still. Okay. Or I have this little arm that I can move here. Hold up. I am maneuvering things around. I'm looking just... Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I just thought about it way too late today. Fun little tip and trick, though. Come on. That phone holder doesn't want to go across my case. There we go. Figured it out. Took a second. All right. That's nice. That's better. That's cool. All right. There we go. So this is what I got set up. Let me see if I can show you. This is the phone right here, of course. And that's me. No idea what it's for. Snapchat is... It's definitely, I think it's almost more millennial than it is Gen Z. And I'm literally on the cusp of both. I'm a 99 baby, so I'm like, which one are you? You know? But I love Snapchat. It's like it's good for, it was known for doing bad things whenever it first came out because everything disappears within a day, like within 24 hours. So no matter what you do, typically, unless you save it yourself, it deletes after 24 hours, which is a great concept in general. And once they put a little, like, I guess, I'm not the guy that's going to be like, regulate, and do all these different things. But once they regulated the app a little bit more and were like, hey, don't do these pornographic things or anything like that on there, it became much better. I probably shouldn't even be smoking on there technically, but they don't really, I guess, consider that so bad, which is great because I don't consider it bad. If people can drink a glass of wine on there, people can drink a beer on there, weed's better for you. Might as well do that, you know? So yeah, I don't find it too bad. Gen X is 80s baby. Is that that's not baby boomers, that's Gen X, right? That's I forget. I don't freaking know anymore, honestly. There's nicknames for them, there's like official names. That's just generations. I don't know. The one thing that I am worried about right here, I usually do music for about a minute, and I don't get copyright stricken down because of Snapchat. but we will be copyright and struck down on YouTube. Conundrum. What do I do? Do I chance this entire stream being taken down, hour and 15 minutes into it, just for a minute of music? But I don't want to mute my microphone so y'all can't hear the music or can't hear anything. Conundrum. Conundrum. What should I do? What do y'all think is the best game plan here? Snapchat with music or just Snapchat without it and try to be entertaining? Because people expect the music on the Snapchats, you know? Because I've been doing that for like I've been making Snapchat videos for like 6 or 7 years now, honestly. That makes me generation old. Nah. Because we're all young at heart. We're all kids at heart, which is why we're here, right? We talk about the things we love and we enjoy talking about them. So we're all kids at heart. We're all youthful. Even my parents were born in like the mid to late 50s, and they're both twice as energetic as I am half the time. It's hilarious. It's great. As long as we retain youthfulness, we're good. We're good. Still in this conundrum though. Still on the conundrum. Thinking. Don't know exactly what to do. I think I might mute y'all here just for 1 minute. You won't hear what I'm saying. You can kind of get the gist of what I'm doing though. And if you want to see what I said, go to Snapchat, I guess. I know y'all don't use Snapchat often, so that's not necessarily for y'all, Carrie and David, but for any millennial and younger risk, and younger risk, I just read not worth the risk on there. Younger ages. Here's McGrade on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, but Snapchat's where we're at right now. So what song should I choose? That's what I can choose with y'all right here, though, is what songs should we do? What are y'all feeling? Someone give me a genre. What genre? Should we do a little yeah, don't hurt my YouTube stream. I'll just mute this for a minute and we'll hop right back after the fact and just hang out for a couple minutes before we head out. But what genre? Should I do a little bit of reggae music? Should I do a little rock and roll, a little soul, a little hippity hoppity? Well, what are we feeling? What are we feeling? I like all kinds of music. Rock? All right. Well, let me see what the first recommended things for a little rock music are right here. There's little Jonathan Edwards, but that's more country rock, southern rock, I guess. A little Grateful Dead. That's rock-ish. Quick picks. Come on, Google Play Music. Give me the good stuff. Give me the good stuff. We got Ripple, Grateful Dead, Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers. That's not really rock though. We got some Lumineers. That's modern rock. Who are you feeling? Rock? Ooh, Carrie and David, both of them rock. I like it. Okay, now y'all see how indecisive I am sometimes. I get very indecisive. How about y'all feeling anybody in particular? Forgotten favorites. I'm just looking through all my like suggested things right now, and it's not really suggesting very many good options here. Ever heard of Living Color? I've heard of them. Why Living Color? Why? Cult of Personality. Love rears its ugly head. Type. Open letter to a landlord. They seem super freaking familiar. Cult of Personality in Rio. That looks cool. I feel like I've heard of them. Eva Under Fire. Blue Oyster Cult. Oh, okay. That's yeah, I'm going Blue Oyster. You said it. I'm in. All I needed was that one suggestion that really caught me. So the real question now, though, is Don't Fear the Reaper, Burning for You, Godzilla. There's so many good ones. Joan Crawford, I do love that one. ETI. The Vigil, The Alchemist, Nosferatu. I love Blue Oyster Cult. Living Color Song Type. Okay. Should I go Burning for You or Godzilla? Keeping it simple. Don't Fear the Reaper? Okay, that's it. All right, we're going Don't Fear the Reaper. It's a classic. It's a constant. We got it. Okay. So I will what the hell is it called? It's not minimize, it's maximize, right? Isn't that what the thing's called? Yeah, right? Okay. Yeah, 3 seconds is, I think, all I can give you all. All right, so we're jamming. I'm going to mute y'all right now. Woo! All right, we're back. We are back. I don't know what that looked like from this end. I'm very interested to watch back and see what it looked like. That's what it looks like from over here. Don't fear the Reaper. Na, 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 na. Okay, so now to do my advertising, because I really do suck at going on social media to advertise myself and MCubed and all that. The one place that I'm so used to going though is Snapchat, because I've smoked on Snapchat like once a day for years and years and years, and now I finally still sulking over Living Color. So yeah, I just go back on YouTube, put in the thing I want to share, attach to the snap. You got to pick. I don't like putting filters that like change my face or anything. If I look crazy that day, I look crazy that day. If I don't look good that day, I don't look good that day. If I look good that day, I look good that day. But I would rather do like one of these ones that says like Los Angeles or something like that. Like, there we go. This is what it's gonna look like right there. I'll tell y'all my secret. If anybody joins from Snapchat, they'll be like, "You bastard!" Is I always put, well, this little Los Angeles thing. That's better than, because I like those little filters or things where you just little slides where you can put that over you, and I like that better than the ones that make your face all smooth or change you to tanner or anything like that. I haven't used a filter in my life. Good on you. It scares me that generations to come, including my generation, like we were raised as these filters came out kind of deal. But what about the generations that are raised only knowing filters? Like, how are they to decipher what's what? You know, I guess they have a better ability to depict and to depict what they need to decipher, but that's a lot at that point. But this is the thing where I was joking. I put the link right here. So on Snapchat, you're always you hit the right side of your screen, and that's how you get on to the next thing. You get on to the next thing. Get on to the next thing. Don't need a filter. I'm beautiful enough. Well, I believe it, David. I totally believe it. Because I've been told I need some filters at times, but I don't believe it. I'll power on nonetheless. Yeah, but as you click to the right, you're more liable to hit this and accidentally click it to the stream anyway. So as long as that happens, how old are you anyways? No. I answer all the time. My favorite thing is, can you guess? That's where I like to ask that question when people wonder, because I mean it's just the first question we like to ask generally, but it helps me as like an actor be like, okay, can I play this type of role? Can I play this type of role? There's a lot of people that are like 34, 33, 32 that still look like they're like 17 and they could pass as like 19, 20. So they can still play like in high school roles a lot of times and stuff like that. And that just keeps your availability open for longer. It keeps you being paid for longer. It lets your job consistency be there. It's interesting. I don't know if I can still play that type of role. Maybe without this, you know. But yeah, 24. Well, yeah. We talked about it earlier, I guess, saying I was a 99 baby. Do I look 24? For people in the comment section, what did y'all think in the comment section? For people that watch this later, put it in the comment section what you thought. You know what I mean? I just smoked a bowl. I just snapped it. Grammar is not my forte at the moment. That wasn't bad though. That wasn't bad. Yeah. I get to be the last of the 90s babies. I get to be the very last year of people that are able to say that they've lived in 2 centuries, 3 decades. Yeah. No. 4 decades. And some other funny statistic like that, and still be under 30 or something like that, you know. It cracks me up. We lucked out, us 99 babies. We got a little bit of the best of both worlds. We got all like the new fancy cool things coming in from the beginning and now of the 21st century, and are able to probably process some of these things a little better than some just because of that. But then we also were raised alongside people that were raised from an older generation, and we were raised from an older generation. So we I think I got a good best of both worlds. Obviously, every generation has that to a degree. And I feel lucky to be born when I was, you know, because now I wouldn't want to grow up right now. Obviously that's coming from someone now, but definitely knew you were under 30, but wasn't sure exactly. Yeah. Half my friend group is like 35, so it's I get 30 or like or high 20s often. Half the people I know are like that I actively hang out with are like 28 to like 35, 37. So yeah. I tend to get roped in like that general age range. I'm still just a few years younger, but that's just who I was raised around, I guess. I don't know. No, this is who I gravitate towards. I love people my age. I still hang out with people my age all the time, but my core, as it's you know, my core people tend to be a little older. Yeah, just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. But yeah, y'all got anything else? I'll probably head out here in just a second. I did eat a couple patties before I cooked myself some couple patties before I got on stream, so I'm not too hungry, but I might eat again just to kind of fill in my feeding hours, as I call them. Well, I might be more mature half the time, but I also, like I was saying earlier, I'm a 5-year-old boy at heart. I could just run around outside and say stupid things all day, and run into trees and hopefully not hurt myself and get back up and do it again. I'm simple. One of my favorite sayings is keep it simple, stupid. I saw someone say it in the chat earlier today. They said kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. I've never heard it referred to as kiss before, but I like it. That's one of my favorite little sayings and metaphors for life. I got a lot of them. I'm texting, I think, in metaphors. But yeah, we'll keep it simple, stupid. If that's all, I'll probably hang out. So then or head out, because we've been hanging out for a while. You know what I mean. I'm stoned. Not that stoned, but enough where grammar's starting to fade away a bit. That's why I might need a little bit of food, So love y'all, appreciate y'all. To be young at heart is awesome. Damn right. That's something if I ever lose it, I'm gonna be mad at myself. Hopefully mad enough at myself to bring it back. I don't know how that works yet. I'll get there. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for always being here. I don't think we're doing anything tomorrow. I might do a smoke stream late at night. It'd probably be pretty late. I'm not positive. We'll see. But Sidetrack on Sunday. See y'all there. We do have tomorrow. Schmook is coming out with Revenge of the Sith. Ticket or skip it. I believe it's already scheduled. So just press that little notification button on there and it'll be all good, But yeah, that's it for me. Come back for more movie love and goodness on MCubed, and I will see y'all later.